Yep.
Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. I've stepped through the looking glass. With a drink and raise your glass. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. So raise your glass. Won't see times like this again. I can take your pain. You take from the land. I can take your pain. I see a girl reaching down. I step through the looking glass. Oh, she sure does have some class. I've traveled the land far and wide. East to west and west to east. They say it's the best in the west. More than we can talk under with the windows. Don't need any better glass of glass. I've stepped through the looking glass. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. I've stepped through the looking glass. Take a drink and raise your glass. Let me tell you that girl, she got some class. So let's raise your glass. Oh, she's not like these again. I can't take your pain. Ain't no big from the free hand. I can't take your pain. I see a man reaching down. I stepped through the looking glass. Well, she sure does have some class. I just don't play. East to west and west to east, they say it's the best. In the west, north wind blowing tundra where the north wind blows. Let me tell you that girl, she got some class. I'm stepping through the looking glass. Take a drink, raise your glass. Let me tell you that girl, she got some class. So raise your glass. Won't see times like these again. I can't take your pain. Take a page from the plan. I can't take your pain. I see a hand reaching down. I step through the looking glass. Boy, she sure has some class. I traveled the land. East to west, west to east. As I say, it is the best in the west. North winds from blowing. Thunder where the north wind blows. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. Let me tell you she got some class. I'm stepping through the looking glass. Won't see times like this again.
Theme song.
Is your love on fire? Wind over earth, fire and sea. Call the clarion, raise the fire. It takes a historian to call the clarion. You need a wind caller. Call the elemental of air. A touch of fire spirit. Salt of the sea. The fourth wave, always back. 4 doors to go, 4 steps away. What is real? Let's catch the deal. Maybe we could, maybe we should do something about it. It's not the end, it's just a little bending of the fourth wavelength. Universe changing, mind bending, never ending. Gotta get some, it takes a historian to call the clarion. Then you need a wind caller, then you need elements of the earth. A touch of fire, a little salt of the sea. The fourth wave, 4 waves back, 4 doors to go, 4 steps away. What is real? Let's catch the deal. Love on fire, wind over earth, fire and elemental earth. A touch of spirit, salt of the sea. The fourth wave always back for those to go, for steps away. What is real? Let's catch the deal. Maybe we could, maybe we should. Let's do something about it. It's not the end, just a little light bending the fourth wavelength. The universe changing, mind bending, never ending. Gotta get some, it takes a historian to call Clarion. Then you need a wind caller. Then you need a wind caller. You need elements of the earth, little salt of the sea. The fourth wave always back for those to go 4 steps away. What is the deal? Let's catch the deal. Love on fire, wind over earth. Fire and sea, all Clarion. Raise a fire, it takes a historian. Call the Clarion, you need a wind call. Call the elemental of the earth. All right, I waited for the button to stop moving this time. Outsmarted the moving button. How's everyone doing?
Good. Always a joy to watch.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing, you know, when the song comes to an end, when it switches to the next one in the playlist, these buttons, they move. And every time I click too soon, and then I click the back button, and it goes back to the next song, or the forward goes forward to the next song, or backwards. Depends on which way the button switches. Man, I'm telling you, it's got me real good. It's created some good laughs, I'm telling you.
Gotta memorize the pattern. Cheat the machine.
Yeah, that's why this time I just watched it do its thing, and then I clicked the pause once it stopped moving.
Yeah, timed it right.
Yeah. And just think the last time I was, you know. Yeah, you learn new things, man. Who knew that the buttons moved in the when it switched to the next song?
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time. You'll click something, then it'll move, and you'll click the thing you didn't want to click on, and
yeah. I do the back and forth song thing until the buttons stop moving, and I keep doing the same thing, clicking, and then when I shouldn't click, I should just wait for the buttons to stop moving, then click. Like, okay, I'm good. It's the little things in life that make you laugh, I guess.
Or make you pull your hair out.
Oh yeah. Or there's that.
Can go
There's
either
that.
way.
Most times that's when you're learning software. Yeah, pull the hair out.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's what I've been going through with the freaking Streamlabs OBS crap. Pulling my beard out.
Yeah, because we got beards.
I know.
well, my router decided to die on me. At least the Wi-Fi part of it, so that's always fun.
Oh, so
Right.
you're hardwired, eh?
Yep, I'm hardwired, so no issues. You know how I figured it out? Because it coincidentally happened when I got the new laptop. So I'm like, oh, this thing better not be defective. I'll be really upset. And then I noticed I was doing it on my old laptop. And then when you have like Comcast Xfinity, they have hotspots. So I connected to the hotspot, which is much slower than it said the internet I'm getting is, and no problems. You know, and I went into the router, I rebooted that thing, I wiped it, I did everything, and I was like,
routers are man, you know, there's always been the Comcast router, you know, and you know, I would always hook up an external router, you know, just for shits and giggles, because sometimes it was just faster. And getting routers set up and turned on and all that and networked, it was always a pain, always. That is not the. Now it's kind of things are a little more easier, but back then, not so much.
Yeah, at least you don't have to physically be connected to the router anymore. But Man, the router's only 2 months old. It's bull crap.
All right. This is a recap from yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. It's good.
Actually do this. People are bored. People are remember for all your enemies. Big remember for all your enemies. Make sure to go to Stephen Walton's channel, where he will discuss how 48 ounces goes in your rectum. People are too bored in life. They need more things to do. Have kids. I don't know. Do something else.
You got a little hemorrhoid there.
Lord and Lady, help me.
So,
I know. We did not do this to you. You have done this yourself. Coffee in 5 minutes. I just feel 5 minutes before evacuation may begin. Here we go. No.
You're working on your college thesis.
how much was that?
Very nice. I like that montage with the music in the background. It's good.
Yeah.
It's like a promo.
Yeah. I was looking through my background audio library that I have. I got about 6 ones that every now and then I alternate. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a nice little tempo there. And yeah.
I can't believe we forgot to quarter roll Comix Division. Damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn. That was, missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thank Thomas for coming on. Told him, hey, thanks for coming on. It was fun.
Yeah. Good time.
Shits and giggles. So, we watched the first episode where Khan comes in, and where Khan's discovered.
Yeah, great episode.
It's
His
an
introduction.
interesting name, Space Seed.
Yeah.
You know, Ricardo Montalban was the perfect person to play that because he has such presence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, he was suave, but also you get the sense that he was dangerous.
Yeah.
He played the dual kind of persons very well.
Oh yeah. Silky smooth megalomaniac with fancy education behind what he was thinking and the smarts and intelligence to match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super intelligence.
I knew a couple people that were kind of like that. Too smart for their own good.
Yeah, he was too smart for his own good. That's a good description.
His ego was his own.
What exactly? Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. His ego is actually what did him in. Because no matter how smart you are and how smooth you are, there's always going to be some kind of flaw to your character. And his ego was most definitely his flaw.
Yeah. Yep. Overconfidence was his weakness.
Yep.
Yeah, Comix Division is owed a quarter roll dance. Yeah.
It's got to be unexpected. If he knows it's coming, it's just not going to be the same. But he will have one.
Botany Bay.
Oh, no.
What's up, another monster?
But you know what was kind of interesting about this, and they actually wound up touching on the same thing when they wound up doing the Enterprise, is the fact that they were put on a ship and pretty much just thrown into space. The same way in Enterprise, they were just thrown on a planet and left to rot. So there was a lot of similarities there. I mean, I like how they went back to the original Star Trek with the idea of these super beings being taken away from society, even though, what was his name? The doctor, the one that created Data.
Oh,
Noonien.
Dr. Sung?
Yeah,
Dr.
Sung.
Noonien.
Yeah, even
was
though
it Noonien? It was
Noonien Sung. Yeah,
Noonien Sung.
he was the one that put him on that planet, but he put him in a planet where they were pretty much quarantined from anybody else, any contact. So it's a very similar situation to what the Federation had done to the originals with Khan and his crew.
Hail, another monster. How you doing?
And it also reminds me, it makes me think of the episode of The Next Generation, the last episode of season 1, The Neutral Zone, where they find, this cryo satellite that drifted way off course, and they find those 3 people alive.
Oh yeah,
But there's nothing super about those people. But it made me think of that. Interesting tie-in. It was a good homage to that episode. This episode, the Space Seed.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
But this episode, wow. I really felt tension. When they were suffocating Captain Kirk to death, and you could really feel how different of a person Khan was, from the era of the Federation.
Well,
maniacal. Something they weren't used to dealing with. They hadn't seen that kind of manipulation and power and threat, I think.
Yeah, because they really didn't know what the Botany Bay was.
Mm-hmm.
They just knew that the Botany Bay was a penal colony at one point. And so there was a ship named after it. Hey, Stick Kenobi, how you doing?
Hey, what's up,
Steve Kenobi?
Good morning.
Representing Norway.
For you.
And so, you got the Enterprise coming upon the Botany Bay in deep space where ships don't go very much and where it's considered dangerous for some reason. And they discovered Khan, and they somehow triggered the cryogenic box that cryogenic tube that Khan was in, and so he started that started to wake him up, but it started malfunctioning, and they kind of created their own problem by saving his life. They didn't know that if they would have known, they were actually saving a monster's life.
Do you think that's a good question? Do you think Kirk still would have done it though? Because Kirk is, he's a man of honor.
I think Kirk still would have saved his life with even the knowledge.
Well,
they had the chance
much...
in the movie, and Wrath of Khan. They still, he still let him live. The whole exile thing. I think that's just Kirk. That's his personality.
Well, it's not just his personality, but it was at that point. It was also the Federation's directives. To try not to terminate life when at all possible. Yep.
But okay, right. So, but in this case, they didn't really know what they were dealing with, right? It's red toxic man flu. They didn't really know what they were dealing with. So, say the Federation did know what they were dealing with. They knew what they were getting. Do you think Kirk still would have? Do you think he would just follow protocol and terminated him if that was the directive, or do you think Kirk would have said, "No, we're still not going to do it"?
Oh,
based on who he is.
Oh, by the way, Tyler Mongo is one of our captive audience.
What do you mean by captive?
At home. Yeah, Tyler Mongo and his family, they're in quarantine.
Oh, they're in quarantine. Oh, yeah. So literally captive.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Because Tyler Mongo was just in the chat a little bit ago.
Yes, he's still
there. What's up,
there?
Angelus Draven? How you doing? Yeah. What's up, Keck? What's up, Wookie?
Another monster.
Parrot Head,
Shellback.
Everybody, RR, Shellback.
Toxic Man Flu, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he would have killed him. I still think that he would have let him live.
I think so too. He would have been he would have done the honorable thing.
Even though it does, there's the potential that it could eventually cost him.
Well, Kirk's style, he doesn't resort to the ultimate action until it's needed.
Well, yeah, think of we did the episode A Piece of the Action a couple weeks ago, and even with that, he left his communicator there, and they're like, well, they're replicators. These people, they're going to take that, and they're going to reverse engineer it basically. And Kirk's like, yes, they will, and he's kind of going along with it. They could have easily turned around, gone back down to the planet, and be like, give us the communicator back. We need that back. But he's just like, he kind of makes a joke about it. He's like, well, maybe someday the Federation will be asking for a piece of their action. He kind of jokes. It's like, no big deal. We did what we did, and we did what we could, and all's not lost. Well, it's kind of it's interesting, Kirk, because he's a really righteous, moral, upstanding guy. Willing
to bend the rules here
right,
and there
but yet
if it serves a good purpose.
Right, yeah, that's where I was going with it. Like he's upstanding, moral, but yet he's willing to bend the rules if it serves a good purpose.
Everyone bends a little. I put that in the song.
Everyone bends a little, yeah. Yeah.
Well, up until the point that he winds up destroying him in the Wrath of Khan, wasn't he still trying to get him to surrender?
I think he was, yeah.
And
that's why I brought Wrath of Khan. I think he
everything.
was still trying to.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the stuff that Khan had put him through all the way up to that point, and
was
the
still
fact
trying
that
to
he
save
was
him.
still, just says a lot about the character of who Kirk actually was.
Yeah, and this wasn't he wasn't even a relation to Kirk. It's not like he was some, you think like Luke, with Vader. I mean, all the stuff that Vader did, murdering everything he did, but Luke was still trying to save him. But it was his father, so it's a little different. But I mean, Kirk, he had no relation to Khan.
Especially after what Khan did to his son.
Yeah, and still tried to save him. Yeah.
The whole thing is great, and again, you have this great, you have a great dinner scene where they know who Khan is, and Khan does not yet know that they know who he is. And
you see the twinkle in his eye when he walked in, though?
Khan?
Yeah.
Or Kirk?
Kirk had a twinkle in his eye, too. Good call. But when Khan walked in, did you see the look in Khan's eye? Like,
Yeah, like these guys are suckers.
He may have been thinking that, they might know who I am, maybe. He had a suspicious look in his eye. And Kirk, he had that glimmer in his eye, that like inside joke that everyone knew about. Except Khan.
Yeah, what's great too is the tension in that scene, because we know that Kirk and them know, but he doesn't necessarily know, and so they're each trying to see who will reveal it first.
That's a chess game.
Yeah, that's very well done.
They were definitely playing 4-dimensional chess.
What's up, Makani?
And then when Hail Makini. I think I got that right this time.
Bikini.
Yeah, I don't. Makini, is it pronounced? I always pronounce it Makini with the E being the emphasis, but then some people say Makini with the being the emphasis, and I don't know which one it is.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Makini.
Makini. Oh, okay.
Makini. Gotcha.
Makini. Okay.
We'll get it right one day.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. But yeah, that scene was tense. I thought the romance with was it MacGyver's? I need to.
It was MacGyver's.
Yes, I thought that.
Very, very good-looking redhead, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Definitely good-looking redhead. Historian, Max, actually.
And she chooses to go with him.
Yeah, that was an interesting story arc.
Well, that's the suaveness of Khan.
Yeah.
Seducing her right into like following him. That's what I could tell. Like, they did a really good job showing the manipulation power that he had. When he was ruling, like you could see how and why he became, or his people became such a threat. In a quick ruling class of their day, because he was very smooth and almost what do you call when you have like a leader that's just
Charismatic.
Charismatic. Yeah, so charismatic that he had the doctor like following him without even really knowing him after a day or something, and she's already really ready to throw it all away to follow him.
Yeah,
even after he tried to kill the captain.
The first time she laid eyes on Khan, she was all googly-eyed for him anyway. She was weak in the knees already.
Yeah.
You mean you could hear the mental words? Ooh, what a man! Just my take, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Like Shellback said, mankini.
There's and the reaction of the crew too when they show Kirk suffocating. Doesn't Uhura scream or something? She gets really upset. I thought that was
I think
good.
she did scream. It was an off-camera scream, but it was definitely Uhura.
That's a really good. That's kind of why I like this episode so much. RR, is because it really does tie into like today. You know, they're trying to make shortcuts, and there's I don't know if you guys know of the whole what's it called, CRISPR-Cas9 DNA editing, basically.
Oh yeah, the CRISPR.
Yeah, CRISPR-Cas9. Yeah, I mean they're at the point now where they're trying to literally change DNA, and yeah, it's messing with nature. It's taking shortcuts, and that's a really good analogy. That Kirk was naturally a genius and a leader, and
Right.
Khan was the product of human attempts, which is usually it doesn't go the way they want it to go, and ends up being quite immoral. The way they go about it.
Well, that too, but Kirk also was striving to be better every day, as where Khan, or that's what
Believed
created
he was
his
arrogance.
Yeah, he believed he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, even Kirk had respect for Khan still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
what is that? What is that considered? The classic Oedipus complex?
Well, Oedipus complex was
I
when
think
you
it's different. Yeah, that's
Oedipus
when you
complex was you wanted to sleep with your mother. You were like in love with your mom. That was the Oedipus complex.
Well, Khan wanted to sleep with everybody, didn't he?
So did Kirk.
So they built it.
What are you saying?
Unlike Stephen in the
No to the brokini.
Enemies complex,
Hmm.
where Stephen wants to give enemas to everybody.
Enema complex. It's your classic enema complex.
It's part of their genetic engineering.
Oh man,
Hey,
that's funny. Enema complex.
Hey, Machni, why don't you send me a DM and I'll send you a yard link. Remember, you wanted to come on the other day, just didn't have room.
Oh yeah, get him on here.
Yeah, send me a DM, because you got to send me a DM for me in order to send you one, because you got yours secured.
So also, how can I forget this? The scene where Khan first wakes up and he holds the scalpel to Bones' throat, and Bones is just as cool as a cucumber. He's like, "You might want to move the knife to the left of the neck."
He gives him like
that was very Bones like.
Yeah.
I don't care. Get it over with.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it right.
Or let me get on with my day. I'm
Don't waste
grumpy.
my time. Yeah. Yeah.
And see, Khan respected him for that too.
Uh-huh. Oh, you don't honor life as much as I don't? Good. I respect you for that.
I think he respected the fact that he was staying cool under that kind of pressure. Hey, it might have saved his life. He may have been ready to do it. Well, it might have saved him.
Yeah.
Nasty scar, maybe, if he wasn't holding it the right place.
Yeah, that's true.
I do believe there is a certain type of RNA that is in vaccines.
There is. I believe there is as well, yeah.
And if you don't want said thing in there, most belief systems don't believe in that.
They're
mixing the DNA of something else.
Yeah, that's definitely a no-no in Christianity and Judaism. It's in the Bible, it's how the Nephilim came to be, was with the fallen angelic hosts, mixing their DNA with the women of Earth, and that was a no-no. And then they got this hybrid race. Yeah, it's a lot of religions have that belief.
Here in California,
man. Don't mess with nature,
Yeah. Well, here in California, thanks to the state senator from my hometown of Sacramento, Richard Pan, managed to sneak through something where there's no longer a religious exemption for school vaccination for your kids to attend school. You can't have a religious exemption from that anymore.
Yeah, man.
Which I think is unconstitutional and illegal, but that was done.
That's very unconstitutional.
Yeah, I don't know. Does the federal government give the states the choice to dictate that kind of thing? Vaccines on kids in schools?
Well, it's freedom of religion, so that would be
freedom of religion. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what they argue, which I don't agree with, but I'm just saying what they argue is, I guess there was a case from, I think it was like the Spanish flu era. It might have been a little after that. It was the 20s, that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of vaccinations when it gets to the point of, you know, whenever whoever they is, the community decides that the public health risk outweighs your individual right. And they ruled this way in favor of the government having the power to force a vaccine. So that's what people are now saying. They have the power to do this with the COVID, with the pink elephant, you know, because they've got the power to, because of that ruling back in, you know, almost 100 years ago now, that that they can force you because it you know, the public health risk outweighs your individual right.
Better not try it.
It's funny thing because they can't really do that with something that has a 98% survivable rate.
Yeah, that's
but see that's
in Switzerland, there's all kinds of things going on right now medically with scientists and tests and all that stuff. And Switzerland's making big stinks and all that. And the reason why you don't hear about it because the news ain't talking about it.
Yeah, but see, if they really want to just push the narrative like they have been doing through the regular news media outlets, they will just claim it's whatever and damn the actual numbers behind it. I mean, they've done it all the time. They continue to do it, and they will do it with this if they decide they want to push it in that direction. And they will try to force it on everybody.
Right now, Germany is in full protest. They are protesting the lockdown conditions. They're fully protesting it.
Where's this?
In Germany.
Oh, in Germany.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's been some massive protests there. And I think there's a bunch of other protests going on across Europe as well to do with the lockdown and people's businesses basically going belly up because of lockdowns worldwide, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, really need to get a list of the countries that didn't lock anything down, and some states didn't lock down and they kept schools going, and there was no really high numbers coming out of those states compared to other states that were locked down.
Wow. And businesses are just hurting, especially the restaurant businesses. In New York City, for example, they said that about 80% of restaurants in New York City, and New York City has 1 million restaurants. Mm-hmm. You know, I lived there for 10 years. It's restaurants everywhere. They said 80% of them have been closed down because of this, and the majority of them will never reopen. I mean, New York is now becoming what it was in the 70s. After Giuliani went in there and worked so hard to, you know, rid the mob and clean up Times Square and that whole city. I mean, as district attorney, he worked really hard, and it took a long time for him to do it. But he was able to do it, and it got better. You know, throughout the 80s, started getting better. The 90s almost looked like a different city, and by the time the 2000s rolled around, it was, you know, I mean, it was like you could walk down Disney Boulevard, which was, you know, formerly Broadway. Disney owned like
what about Harlem and shit? Harlem became
even Harlem
like a posh neighborhood.
Yeah, so Harlem, Washington Heights was like an up-and-coming area that real estate was starting to rise in Washington Heights. Brooklyn Heights, I mean, you couldn't get Williamsburg, Brooklyn, oh my God. When I first moved in there, it was, you know, kind of like an early sort of Soho area, like when Soho first started coming about. It was kind of an artist district, you know, a lot of big lofts. I mean, it took like 2 years. And then all of a sudden, Williamsburg, which is it's right on the river, it blew up. I mean, the prices were getting higher than parts of Manhattan. You know, in Brooklyn, it just rose so fast. So now what's happening now, because of this whole thing, and in 5 months, it's started to resort back to the 70s, where there's now reports of like gang violence. back on Broadway, and drugs. Like, people are shooting up in the street. I mean, it's, I think it's the mayor. A lot of it has to do with the mayor, because Giuliani, after he left and became mayor, he did a great job keeping that city running. Bloomberg came in. Bloomberg continued it. He did a great job keeping that city running. And now you got Blasio. That seems to be
relative of a certain person.
I don't know.
Or is that the mayor? That's the mayor. Yeah.
No, he is the mayor. Blasio is the mayor.
Yeah.
Cuomo's the governor.
He's related to a certain Yahtzee back in the.
I didn't know that.
The WW2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Blasio's? Well.
Witchfinder General.
There you go.
Hail.
There you go. Yeah, it's sad because I love New York. It's still my favorite city in the world, but now it's just, God, who knows?
Yeah, it is. RR says it. Yeah, and I've heard that plenty of times. A lot of people have talked about it. It's much easier to destroy than to create. Obviously, it's a bit understated in today's environment.
Well, it takes talent, patience, to create. You need talent. You need patience. Endurance. To destroy, you just need aggression and anger, and that's quick. That's a quick emotion to grasp for. Patience is tough. Talent, even if you don't have the innate talent, you can learn it. But you need patience. So it's harder to create. Destroying's easy. Just takes seconds and aggression and anger
and a work ethic too. You got to have a work ethic.
A work ethic, yeah. Yep.
It helps.
Yep.
San Francisco, 25% of the businesses are closed. Well, if you look at all the U-Hauls that you can't find in San Francisco because everyone's got them. Yeah, it's very hard to find a U-Haul in San Francisco, I hear.
Yeah, that mass exodus, that's not a joke. You can look on there and you'll see a huge spike in the number of listings. I think it's like quadrupled or quintupled over last year. That's a lot.
Oh, where are they going? Are they just leaving the city, or are they leaving the state?
A lot of them. The number one place is Texas. The number two place is Arizona. Is where they're headed. Yeah, they're the number two places that a lot of California. Yeah, we're taking our walks around our neighborhood, our little drives, and man, it's like, down here in LA, there are tons of rents, for rent available all over the place. People are moving out. I've never seen so many for rent signs. It's usually like, really, especially where I'm at, it's really tough to get in here. This area, it's usually normally it's always booked up and it's expensive, but now it's like, it's not. You can.
You could
plenty of options.
You could say the writing's on the wall and the band's playing the music.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of people that are waking up. People on the left are waking up, which is a relief in a lot of ways.
Yeah, people are definitely realizing that this is not what they said it was.
Well, it's kind of funny. How many of these short-sighted idiots are just finally coming to the realization of what they were pushing for in short-term games is not going to help out anybody.
Yeah. It's only going to lead to further depression.
Yeah, Governor, God, what an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Takes all kinds, I guess, the old saying, do stupid things, win stupid prizes,
Yep.
A lot of stupid prizes being handed out. I'm telling you. Yep. But yeah, a little poke here, a little poke there, and a little ha-ha there, and a har-har here. Yeah, because you can't do nothing but laugh at it because it's just so insane, everything that's going on. Just, you gotta laugh at it. You gotta just have a good chuckle with it because it's crazy. Everything's crazy. So the way I look at it, make people famous and write songs.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be your
It's like
Huckleberry.
it's like, oh, yeah, you really wanted to piss me off. Oh, okay, I'll make you famous. And that's a saying in a movie. Which one did that come from? I'll make you famous. Guns, something, guns.
Young Guns?
Young Guns.
Young Guns, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
make it
Billy the
famous,
Kid,
yeah.
Emilio
Yeah.
Estevez. He says it
Yep.
to him. He said, "I'll make you famous."
Yep.
Yep.
Man, that's a great movie. Both of them.
It
I like
is.
both.
Yeah, they're both good.
I got the first one on Vudu, and the second one for some reason is not on Vudu. It's on. I think it's on Prime. Young Guns 2.
It's probably a licensing thing. A lot of
Very
times
well
when
could
that happens, it's usually a licensing. It's a different distributor or something, and they didn't have to deal with Voodoo, and yeah,
It's a great cast.
yeah,
Oh,
great
yeah.
cast.
Yes. Really, if you think about it, a lot of the male hero archetypes. You got Billy the Kid that was immortalized in movies, the character that was developed in stories and all that, the story that's told behind that one. Then you got the Captain Kirks, you got that hero archetype, and you got the superhero archetype. You got Superman, and plus you got all the legendary female superheroes and female characters out there that some of these people out here that don't seem to know that they're there. Sort of like the books that wasn't there when KK said, "Oh, we didn't have no stories to back up and all that and yada yada," and all of a sudden, wait a minute, what are you saying? And everyone's like staring, and it's a cold silence in the room, and you could feel the chill come into the room because everybody knows there's Star Wars stories and books.
Yeah, everyone knows now. Apparently, not everyone knew as of a year ago. They're just finding it out.
But don't mind me, I'm my little hamster wheel running.
So
Yeah.
let me ask this. So the statement that is attributed to Kathleen Kennedy that she said, "Oh, we're going to take a look back. There's 25,000 years," and we don't really think that she crafted that statement and even wanted to make that statement, do we?
No, I think if you go on, this is why I think Doomcock's rumor might have some legitimacy. The fact that he said, you guys know his rumor, right? That they're trying to apparently they're trying to wipe the SJWs out of Lucasfilm and
Yeah, I've heard
Disney,
that.
General Marvel. Yeah, I mean that was Doomcock's recent leak. Based on his source inside Lucasfilm, had told him this. It's like it's a big thing, and I mean he came out with that like a couple days ago, and it was just a week ago before that we heard that Kathleen Kennedy was saying that, oh, we're going to take a step back and look at the source material, on the books and everything. So it lines up to be like, oh, well, this makes sense now. If this is really going on and they're trying to wipe the slate clean, or clean house of the SJWs, then yeah, Kathleen's going to try anything she can to, make herself look good and try to win back some kind of fans, for her sake of her job, the safety of her job. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is something to that. No, I don't think she wanted to at all, Wes. But I think that's a strategic move to try to save her butt right now because maybe there is something going on, and that's her defense in a way.
See, I don't think her butt is savable at this point. I think somebody did. I don't even think she wanted to. I think she was not even in the decision to release a statement like that. I think Disney is just like, this is the statement we're making. This is what you're saying, Kathy. Shut up. So
Maybe.
your contract's over.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey,
That's
Final, when
definitely
you were
possible.
saying that about KK,
Mhm.
you know what I was seeing? I was seeing the scene run through my mind of the funeral scene in a Western where the doom and gloom bell is going bing, dong, dong.
Hell's bells.
Yeah, and the funeral scene's coming in and box being loaded into the ground. That's that. I seen that scene roll. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think the gods see it in the future. I don't think they see it in the cards. No. And if they are in the cards, something's wrong. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, like Witchfinder said, it does seem too good to be true. I know, it does. Like, I'd say after years of being insulted and called every name, and pretty much kicked out of the fandom, or tried to be, or forced out of the fandom. Yeah, it seems too good to be true that all of a sudden now they're. But it's eventually these business people, the stockholders, shareholders. That's what I've been saying this for like a year now. Like at some point, how are the stockholders able to go along with this? Because they're losing money. At first it seems okay because Force Awakens makes a ton of money and Last Jedi makes a ton of money. But then you start seeing it slide, or merchandise isn't selling.
But did they really make a ton of money
When
you
you
think about it?
Yeah, no. When you factor in everything, they really did.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
And they definitely lost in the way of merchandising. Like merchandising has always been the big money maker for Star Wars. Yeah.
I just don't understand why you would buy Lucasfilm and buy Star Wars and change it and not go back to the look and the feel of the originals. That's what everybody was waiting for.
Yeah, well, that was their sleight of hand. They tried to make you think that they were going to do that. Because I bought into Force Awakens. I knew it was like a New Hope, but I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. What I thought they were doing was saying, hey, here's look, we're trying to get back to old Star Wars. And I was in it enough to wonder where they were going to take it. But
I don't know. Me myself, I never seen it as like a replay of the first Star Wars movie. What they redubbed New Hope later on, but. I always felt it was just a straight ripoff from the EU because the first time I watched it and I sat there and I seen all those scenes with Rey and the stuff with Kylo and everything, it drew me back to the original Jason and Jaina story. Where I 100% thought that they were going. And when they didn't even go even close in that direction, it just, I got totally disgusted with the film and I left confused. So
everyone definitely thought that they were somehow related because I thought they were going for the Jason and Jaina Solo too. I was like, okay, well, she's going to be an adaptation of that. I thought she was Luke's kid, and then you have Ben is Han and Leia's kid, and so they be cousins. I thought they were going to try to do a version of that, but they did. They end up being like sort of related, I guess, because it's freaking Palpatine's. Well, I know it hasn't been confirmed that Palpatine created Anakin, but there's been enough talk about it. And there was a comic that was released that definitely seemed to indicate it.
Because they destroyed the Plagueis,
novel,
Plagueis, where Plagueis actually created, and then they went against George Lucas's wish that his movies would always remain canon by, decanonizing Plagueis, who was in Part 3 when they mentioned him. So, I mean, But, there was also the one scene, if you remember, Final, where they were actually talking to Han and Leia, and they were talking about a daughter that went missing. And I really thought once they mentioned that.
In one of the movies?
Yeah, in TFA, they talked about it. Because they talked about the daughter that went missing. They didn't know what happened to their daughter.
When did they talk about that? I don't even remember
that. That was early in the film.
What? A daughter?
Don't remember that. I'm having a Mandela effect moment on that.
Yeah, I am too. I don't remember that at all. I remember them talking about losing Ben, that they lost Ben. They thought sending him to Luke would be a good thing, but it ended up not working out, obviously. But I don't remember him ever mentioning a daughter.
Yeah, to go back into what Witchfinder General was saying about Kiefer as Doc Holliday, he played Doc Skurlock. Because I don't know if his character was supposed to be Doc Holliday, but Doc Holliday's full name was John Henry Holliday.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah, I thought he was supposed to play Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Either way, Kiefer was freaking great in that movie.
Yes, but I think that I'd never even occurred to me because they never really thought about it. And I'm like, Doc. And then Witchfinder General put that in there. And I'm like, I never really thought about that. Everyone just called him Doc. I never really thought of Doc Holliday. And I'm like, I went looking, like, Skurlock. He's playing Doc Skurlock.
I guess if you go historically, Doc Holliday and Billy the Kid. I don't know if they were exactly this. Their time periods line up.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I always kind of assumed it was, but I never really thought to look up. It's Billy the Kid and Doc Holliday. Do they share the same? I'm sure it was around the same time, but
he was alive he was born in 1851 and died in 1887.
yeah, because I got Doc Holliday was the Wyatt Earp era.
Yeah.
Billy.
Billy.
Because that was what Tombstone, the movie Tombstone. Val Kilmer plays an amazing
Right.
Doc Holliday in Tombstone, and he is Doc Holliday, in Tombstone.
Okay, Henry McCarty is basically Billy the Kid. It was a pseudonym for William H. Bonney. Hey, and he was born September 17 or November 23rd, 1859 to 1881. So I guess he was in the same time era.
He was?
Yeah, because
okay.
he was born only a few years later after, because Doc Holliday was born in 1851. He was born in 1858, so that's 7 years later.
Yeah. So I wonder if they they could have been, so he could have been.
Yeah. Could have been some close entanglements maybe here and there, or some rubbed elbows missed.
Yeah. Yeah, they had 2 movies that came out that I remember with Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp the movie Wyatt Earp, and then Tombstone.
Yeah, they
They just made the first
What's
2
that?
Young Guns 1 and 2, right?
Yeah. The Wyatt Earp and Tombstone, those came out pretty close together, didn't they?
Yeah, they were both like early to mid 90s. Yeah.
Hollywood has a weird way of doing that, like how Deep Impact and
Armageddon came out like the same year.
which I think that Deep Impact is a much superior movie, but
yeah, I gotta watch Deep Impact again. I've been meaning to do that because I think we mention this maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah.
Talking about these 2 because I always liked Armageddon.
Yeah, I just
a
picked
little
up
more,
Tombstone a little while ago.
Yeah, Tombstone's great. I haven't seen
Love that
Wyatt
movie.
Earp for a while. I have to watch Wyatt Earp again. I remember it was Kevin Costner, and I believe Gene Hackman. That was one of his Western ones as well. I don't remember who.
The Kevin Costner one's good too.
Yeah, that's the one, the Wyatt Earp one.
You just reminded me. I don't have that one. I got to get that one.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen. I think I've only seen that once.
Because I have Tombstone.
Tombstone, I've seen a bunch though. Yeah.
I love Kurt Russell, man. The guy's
Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, and then what's his name who played Sam what's his name? Sam
Elliot?
Yeah, Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good cowboy.
Great cast. Oh, he's like the ultimate cowboy. Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't even have to be in a wardrobe when he looks like a cowboy and talks like a cowboy.
I always think of him when I think of Sam Elliott, though. I always think of that movie Mask.
With
Cher.
Yeah. And the kid and Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz. Yep, that's the role that got him cast as Marty McFly.
Yeah.
Isn't Eric Stoltz playing in American Gods?
Oh, I don't know. Is he? Is he in that?
There's a guy that's playing. If it's not Eric Stoltz, man, the guy's a freaking dead ringer for him.
I want to see the Eric Stoltz version of Back to the Future. I know it's not.
I've seen just the whatever was like. I think it was the Blu-ray box set. They released the Blu-ray box set when it first came out on Blu-ray, and they had the footage. They had the behind the scenes. Some of the special features. They showed the footage of him as Marty McFly in a couple scenes. And it's different. It's definitely a different tone than Alex P. Keaton.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it would have. I think if they had stuck with Stoltz, it would have ended up being, a cult classic like My Science Project or something.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
You know what? When I think of
My science project. I love that movie.
when I think of that old cowboy now, the only thing I can picture him in anymore is the Ranch series.
That's a great
That's
show.
all I can picture him
I've
as
never
now,
seen
as the
that, The
father
Ranch?
on the ranch. Yeah.
Well,
Are you,
he's
who's that?
already.
Is Sam Elliott?
What's that?
I think
Are you talking about Sam Elliott?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
the show The Ranch.
Yeah, I don't know that.
The
show.
first
Oh,
two
dude.
seasons were excellent.
Funny.
Excellent. It's got Danny Masterson in it. It's got
What's up, DJ?
yeah, pretty much
DJ.
like everybody
What's up,
that was
DJ?
in that 70s show. God, I why am I blanking on his name? The goofy one. Bear, help me.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
that's it.
Hey, I'm having a pretty good mental health night today.
At least somebody is.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think maybe I
so.
should have whiskey once a week, and then the next day I'm a lot better.
DJ, I just want to say hail to you, and I gotta say I respect your love of Cyclops. We were back and forth today on who's better, Wolverine or Cyclops. I kept saying Wolverine, and DJ kept saying no, it's Cyclops. And, all right, I respect it, DJ. I respect it.
What's up, Skandalous?
Here's what I always thought about the two of them. Wolverine and Cyclops. Cyclops can burn shit to an ash, right? To a cinder, and all it takes is one cell for Wolverine to regenerate from. So I can't call it, man. It's a flip of a coin.
It's
Well,
the
if you want-
immovable object meets the unstoppable force.
Well, yeah, but if you were looking to put somebody with that something better than Cyclops' optic blast, you would have to put him up against his brother.
Havoc.
Yes, because Havoc he's more powerful than Cyclops.
Yeah, he just can't control it because it goes like anywhere, like everything. Where Cyclops can focus it, but Havoc, it's just like it just blows up. Anything in its path is destroyed.
I think, well, going back to Cyclops
Yeah.
versus Wolverine, I don't know. I didn't see the whole poll or conversation, but I think experience counts, and Wolverine being as old as he is, I think that he would prevail.
Yeah, and plus he can't be killed. So
Well, yeah, that's why he has the
he can
experience.
just
but
keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Eventually,
I think he has the cunning, and he
age.
would be more willing to fight dirty.
Well, they eventually did kill him, though.
Wolverine.
Yeah, I have that series of comics. I have it in a condensed form, in a book form, and they eventually killed him because something happened with his regenerative powers, where they kind of disappeared. They were just gone for whatever reason.
So is that
And,
where they got that for the movie?
Yeah,
yes,
for Logan.
yes, yes. But in the end of it, he winds up going after one of the doctors that originally, created the whole Weapon X project, and he tried to save a bunch of people where he was trying to duplicate Wolverine with a whole bunch of new people, and he crashed the tank with adamantium, and it covered his body. So before the adamantium hardened, he killed the doctor, and then he sits on the edge of a platform, and the adamantium hardens, and that's it.
So he's like sealed in adamantium.
Yeah. Without,
So he's
without
like,
it,
he's like
with,
alive. He's like in a living casket, buried alive.
well,
in his own body.
he can't be alive anymore because he doesn't have that healing regenerative power no more. So
Oh,
he
so
would
he
just
would
suffocate
die.
and die, and that would be it.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
And Arhar says, but he always comes back.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I'm just giving DJ a hard time because actually it was opposite. I was arguing that Cyclops was, not the best because I like Wolverine the best, but I was arguing that Cyclops is really, really a great character, and DJ didn't like him in the TV show growing up. He thought he was like did you say kind of pointless, or he said Cyclops was the original simp, which is funny, but Jean was always Scott's. She was always Cyclops' girl. He
see what
lies.
kind of sympathy for her. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was his. Like, you can't be a simp for your girl. I mean, Jean just like, Logan just tried to butt his way in and steal her away, but she was always like, nah, Yeah, you're dangerous, Wolverine. You got that dangerous thing going on, but Cyclops is my guy. But yeah, I mean, Wolverine was still my favorite of the X-Men, but I always liked Cyclops a lot. He was the leader, and like you said, RR, yeah, he was the heart. He was the heart of the X-Men. Wolverine. I mean, Cyclops.
That was a great cartoon series. I love the X-Men cartoon from the 90s.
Well, they're bringing it back, Wes. Apparently.
Oh, Ghost Bear got ghosted.
Bear ghosted.
Whoa! I thought I got cut from the team for a second there.
Oh. Yeah, Jean had a thing for Wolverine, but still, she was Cyclops' girl. They got married, for goodness sakes. But yeah, that was a great cartoon. It was one of my favorites of the 90s. That and Spider-Man and Batman were my three favorite cartoons from the 90s.
Well, I said it a few
but
times.
they're bringing it back.
Final, I said it a few times. You know what Hulu recently added? They added the old Thundercats cartoon.
Oh, really? That's on there?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Thundercats, the CG one that they did
No.
recently? They redid the intro but made it like computer animated. It's freaking cool. It's like the same intro. They didn't change anything. They just computer animated it. Oh, we should see if we can. Let me see if I can find that. And if Bear reappears, rematerializes, we'll have him maybe share it. Let's see. Where is that? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's a unicorn in San Fran. Got $1,000. Oh, sorry.
I hope they didn't put Bear in one of those ghost containment units.
I think that's what happened. He stepped on a trap and tripped on it.
Yeah. He's somewhere floating above Manhattan right now.
Maybe if you say Bear 3 times, he'll just appear.
Bear,
Don't you have to say bear 9 times because it's bear?
Mm.
Oh, it'd be like, yeah, bear. Hey, boo boo. Okay, here it is. Bear, share this.
A picnic basket.
Oh no, where did he go? Let's see.
Has anybody seen Ghost Bear?
Yeah,
And this is why you never cross the streams.
this is why crossing the streams is very, very bad. I thought you said crossing streams was very, very bad. Hey, how's the Transformers cartoon? I haven't watched it yet. I gotta watch it.
I did.
Is it really?
I did not one.
That was interesting.
Oh, there he is.
What happened? Did you?
Apparently, my internet crashed. It happens out here around this time in the night. It happens anywhere between 11 and 1 in the morning here, and it happened a little bit in between. Because I'm using a connection from my phone.
Oh yeah. Final. Yeah. So I did not one, but I did 2 reviews. When the minute it dropped, I watched the first 2 episodes and did a quick live review of it, and then I watched the rest of the series. And a day later, I did the full review on it, and it was very much inspired by Marvel, Sunbow, and IDW with a little bits of some of the other series like Prime and everything, just like small little tidbits from some of those shows thrown in. No Bayformers. It was excellent. It was very excellent. And
no Shia, no Megan Fox.
Nothing. It was great.
Okay, cool. I'm excited about that because
a lot of people had issues with it as far as the voices, but I mean. Yeah, it's easy to look past the voices. I mean, yeah, it is a shame that Peter Cullen wasn't there and Frank Welker wasn't there, but the only voice that actually bugged me in the entire series was Ironhide because he has almost like a younger teenager type voice, and it just doesn't fit with a gruff old veteran Autobot.
Right.
But
yeah.
that was my only complaint about the series. The rest of it was superbly done, and the animation is fantastic. And they pay homage to the original Sunbow by starting off the show by showing the first 2, well, he wasn't an Autobot at that point, but they showed the first 2 what would be Autobots as Bumblebee and Wheeljack, just like the original Sunbow cartoon did.
That's cool.
When's part 2 dropping?
Don't know. I mean, I do know the toy line is like in full swing with Earthrise, and I was just, we were just talking about this a little bit yesterday, and I was looking. My one guinea pig is named Cliff Jumper, so I was out at Target. I had a few dollars saved up. I seen the Cliff Jumper toy on the shelf at Target. I snagged it, I hugged it, and I wasn't letting it go. And the wife said, "Fine, you can get it." So I was sitting there looking at it hardcore, and some of the pictures that are on the side artwork, they show a Quintesson, they show Unicron in the background of the sky. There's a lot of little hints of some of the things that are probably going to be coming up in the Earthrise series, which is obviously the next series that's going to be in this. So they're definitely coming to Earth, because they actually showed Ark descending to Earth. And in the first line of toys, they're showing the Ark ascending from Cybertron. So it's definitely going to be on Earth. It may be a bit of a different take, because they may follow the IDW script. So Spike and his dad, Buster, are probably going to wind up being military men, more than likely. That may throw some people off if they don't know the IDW version of the Transformers when they redid it. But I thought it was extremely well done, and everything I've seen so far it's been excellent. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's only 6 30-minute episodes, so it won't take long to get through.
It's like Voltron then.
Yeah.
Voltron was also quick, and 30-minute episodes, 6 or 8 of them.
But it's very gritty, and it's very, very war realistic as compared to the original cartoon. There's a lot more high stakes, even more, probably almost as, I would say more than the 1986 cartoon. There's actually a few surprise deaths that you don't really think is going to happen. And
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
it's targeted for a more adult audience.
I haven't watched the new Transformers animation. How many episodes have dropped? Or are they doing it one episode at a time?
It's 6.
6?
Yeah.
So are they doing it half season and then 6 more?
No, that's a full season. That's a full season. That's a full season.
Wow.
So that's chapter 1 is the siege, which is the war for Cybertron. That's the starting point. The second chapter is going to be Earthrise. The third chapter is still it's undisclosed. I'm not really sure, but I seen hints on the packaging of the Cliff Jumper figure, because they actually, like the original G1 toys, they used to have those little red decoders so you could read the stats on the back of the box on their bio. They include one of them in there. So on the back of the artwork inside the box, there's like a little fold out where it's got all this Cybertronian artwork and writing and stuff like that. So you put the decoder up and you could see something that says the Dead Universe, which is part of an IDW storyline, which involves one of the Autobots that had left early on from Cybertron, and he had taken Cyclonus and Galvatron, who were distinctly different than what they did in the 86 cartoon. They're completely different bots. And Nova Prime, who was one of the earlier primes. And they wind up crossing over into this Dead Universe, and at some point Nova Prime becomes Nemesis Prime, and he has what's called the Anti-Matrix. And they're looking to spread the Dead Universe everywhere and pretty much destroy all reality. So because they have Dead Universe listed on there, I think that may be the third chapter. It's going to have something to do with the Dead Universe, and you're going to see characters such as Cyclonus and Galvatron and Nemesis Prime and all those. So,
wow,
that sounds pretty cool. Can't wait.
Indeed.
Witchfinder General, the IDW version of All Hail Megatron, that series, that was really well done. And it was actually the first time that the Decepticons actually won. They beat the Autobots to nothingness, damn near killed Prime, and then dumped them all back on Cybertron through one of the Jesus, what are they called? Damn
Space
portals.
Bridge?
Space Bridge. Thank you. I just got a freaking brain fart there. But they threw them all through a space bridge, and pretty much left them to die, but they found a way back. Yeah, they did go cheap on the voice cast, though. Yeah, they did. But I mean, here's my only reason that I think that they did it is because so many of these companies are in a downturn from all the mess going on with the virus, that they're looking to cut costs because every single company is on a big downturn. So if they could save money by not going with, union people that are in the union of voice actors like Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, I mean, I could see why they would do it. It doesn't make fans happy. I mean, I wasn't happy not to hear Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, but I mean, it is what it is, and it's easily something that you could look past if you're a fan of the franchise. No, God, I just went on a rant about that stuff, didn't I?
Yeah,
Hey, it was fascinating.
we asked about it.
Now, who plays Prime in the new one? Is that the same guy that played Optimus Primal in Beast Wars? Because he sounds like the guy that played Optimus Primal.
As far as I know, this is a whole new voice cast. None of these guys have done anything else, as far as I remember. So,
Interesting.
And Tommy, you weren't a fan of the Voltron, right?
no, I love the Voltron, the original Voltron.
No,
yeah.
the Netflix,
Original.
the Netflix.
Oh no, I did not like that very much at all.
Yeah,
I haven't even watched it
that's
yet.
Good that you like this then. Yeah, it says a lot because I thought Voltron the remake was not bad. I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't. I love the original, but I did like the new one.
I had hopes when I first seen it and thought it was going to be good, and then it just sorely disappointed me. And yeah, Witchfinder General, I know Peter Cullen wasn't happy. He was actually on stage at a Comic-Con somewhere, and he was like throwing shade at him for it. He was quite pissed. And, you know, I mean, rightfully so, but I mean, once again, I mean, it is what it is, and I am not going to knock the fact that we actually got Transformers, that Transformers fans so desperately wanted over all this other trash that's been out, like all the Prime series and all these, you know, robots in disguise, and they were not good. I mean, some of them were like mildly enjoyable, but they really weren't Transformers in my opinion.
So, I got a question. Do you think Netflix was ready for a situation like this where they got stuff in the can? Movie-wise.
That's. I mean, if they did, then that really said something. If they were prepared for something like this,
Because there's not going to be much movie production going on and TV production right now.
no, that's why I think animation is going to be a big thing. You know, I think it was I saw on Twitter on that Star Wars girls, she tweeted out that X-Files is doing an animated version that's like it's going to be like a spoof. It sounded like Star Trek Lower Decks, but with X-Files is what I kind of thought when I read it. But they're doing the stories that were too outrageous and too like silly for Fox and Scully. So they were gonna, you know, they have this team of, you know, like a ragamuffin group that are gonna go out and investigate these, you know, kind of more silly, extreme type of X-File type stories, or UFOs or whatever, aliens. But it seems like it's almost a spoof, you know, like it's going to be a Star Trek's Lower Deck. But
what was it? Was the guys that helped them out every now and then the science guys? Was that their name? The science guys?
Oh, the nerd. Yeah, I don't remember the names. I can picture who you're talking about though.
They had their own show.
Yeah, the two guys. They did a spinoff.
Yeah, they had their own show, man.
Yeah, it was like two of them, right? They were
Yeah,
like
and then
the nerdy programmer guys.
It didn't last long.
Okay, that group's name, I asked my wife, she's a huge X-Files fan. She said they were called the Lone Gunman.
The Lone Gunman. Okay.
Oh yeah, boy, there's an episode of the Lone Gunman that we really could cover on Conspiracy or Conspiracy. That was a lot behind that. They had one where a plane was hijacked remotely and was supposed to fly into the World Trade Center, and supposedly the CIA is the one that gave them the idea for the story.
Wow. Oh man, that's
A lot of wow, actually.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the cast members was talking about it actually. Boy, I wish I could find that video. See, mysteriously, those videos have gotten a lot harder to find.
Yeah. Harder to find.
Anyway, I didn't mean to go into that territory on here, but yeah, you know, the X-Files, I don't know about you guys, but once they hooked up Mulder and Scully, I kind of lost interest in the show. That was Scully, you know, there was like a brother-sister relationship. That just didn't work for me.
Yeah. It was kind of a brother and sister relationship.
It kind of was an unusual dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a laugh track.
Actually do this. People are bored. People are remember for all your enemies. Big remember for all your enemies. Make sure to go to Stephen Walton's channel, where he will discuss how 48 ounces goes in your rectum. People are too bored in life. They need more things to do. Have kids. I don't know. Do something else.
You got a little hemorrhoid there.
Lord and Lady, help me.
So,
I know.
We did not do this to you. You have done this yourself. Coffee in for 5 minutes.
I just feel
5 minutes.
Before evacuation may begin.
Here we go.
Oh my.
You're working on your college thesis.
how much was that?
A little recap from yesterday.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. I pulled a Tommy.
Fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's comic gold in them.
Actually, you kind of gave me the idea. When you were going through your little sales pitch, I was just like, oh, yeah. And so today I threw it together. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just wait till I get his candle production rolling next month. My wife just informed me that I have to make his coffee enema and ass scented candles outside the house. She said I can't do it inside the house. Yeah, they are laughing.
Yes, we are. I'm a fan. I don't know if you've noticed.
I decided the very first one I make, and when it's all finished, I'm going to package it up. I'm going to send it to Steven with a note that I need you to do a review on this. I don't care if it's a video or if it's on a live stream, but I want to see an honest-to-goodness reaction from lighting that candle. I want to see if he pukes. My wife has asked me if Steven's married. She's worried about murder taking place in his house.
No, he's not married. Hey, you should tell your wife to come say hello to the chat.
No, she's
She's always part of the show anyway. Always cracks me up. Well,
I lost my train of thought.
I think Final need a refill on his drink. And
all this talk of coffee probably got him excited.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hey, would you believe that our live stream is coming up in the suggested
Nice.
on the recap video of mine? That is pretty cool. 3 of 20 suggested. That always blows me away. It blows me away how fast that stuff can change. Because I'll watch it when I'll check in on it. I'll look and then it'll be 3 and then I'll come back. It'll be 2. It's always changing.
Now, supposedly once you hit the 1,000 subs and the monetization requirements, you're supposed to start showing up in it a lot more.
All right, I found that link that I was talking about earlier about the Thundercats. So this is, I think we're okay playing this, right?
Let me throw something.
Oh yeah, it's a fan thing. It's not a. It's not
Oh,
an
it's a fan thing?
official.
It's not
Yeah,
official.
no, it's a fan thing. Yeah.
I'll throw
So it's
that
not
up there
official.
just in case.
Yeah, you can throw it. Yeah, because they actually do have a version that shows side by side, so you can see how close it is to the original.
I mean, the only thing they could possibly get you on is the original music.
Maybe the
If
music,
that's
yeah.
what they're using.
Yeah.
Thunder, 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 cats.
Yeah, here, I'll pull up the other one too. This is the side by side. So after we watch it, we can watch both of them side by side. Bear, let me know when you're good.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good? Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, so we'll watch this. So this is the CG one first. So this is Thundercats. Well, I guess you can see it there. Thundercats opening, remade with CGI. So the screen back. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Make sure it's sound.
Whoa.
And this is completely remade? Wow. Wow.
Pretty cool, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's
Very
completely,
cool.
I mean, that's
fan
really
made.
Yeah, that was a fan made. Yeah. Now here is the side by side. Yeah, I mean,
I can tell exactly what they did is they really did mirror the original intro.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty much frame for frame, shot for shot. Oh wait, here, hold on a second. I actually have to share sound. Forgot to share sound on this. Yeah, so here's the side by side. You can see Mumra does look cool. Mumra's awesome. A very cool villain when you look into like the power he had was, based from this ancient Egyptian basically god of the dead, and he uses these 4 obelisks to like harness this power of the dead. He's a really cool fleshed out villain. One of the coolest of the 80s. I always like Skeletor as my favorite villain of the 80s, but Mumra is actually probably cooler. All right, here's the side by side.
Hey, what's the definition of this on your gear there? Wow. Wow. Yes, he did.
So you can see, I mean, it's like dead on.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was exactly because I just got done watching it not that long ago. When they started showing it on Hulu, I went through probably.
I gotta go back
the
and
first
watch those.
at least.
Yeah, that's cool that they're on Hulu. It's definitely been a long time since I've seen it, but I would love to watch a Thundercats in CGI like that. If they did it like that, so close to the original, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, it'd be very cool. Whoever's got Thundercats right now. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this.
Well,
Massive.
have you
I mean,
seen
He-Man was always my favorite.
a
Go ahead, Bear.
Witchfinder General says Scully looks better as a blonde. She ages like fine wine. Have you seen her
And
in
she
American
does-
Gods?
She does look very
Ooh.
good. She has aged very well.
She was I believe she was dressed like I Love Lucy. And oh
Hmm.
boy, does she fill a figure! I'm telling you. Woo.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Warner still owns Thundercats.
Oh, they do. Wow, I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot it.
Well,
Yeah, they've owned it. They've owned it since 1989.
I don't think has there been a reboot of it? I don't remember them trying to reboot that.
Other than that cheesy one that they put out with the Thunder Kittens or whatever it was.
No, yeah, the original Thundercats reboot. I don't think they have. Thunder Kittens.
Thundercats Roar. Is that the one you're talking about?
Thunder Kittens Roar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done a reboot. So there's
I'm
been a lot of I
I
don't
think
know
there
done a
was
live
a
action.
reboot at one point.
what
I thought there was a reboot at one point.
there was
Mhm.
of the original Thundercats. When
Apparently it
when
must not
was
have been
that?
very good.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I heard. Hold on, let me look it up.
Well, you remember when they rebooted He-Man with that space He-Man?
Oh, they
garbage?
rebooted
Ugh.
He-Man, yeah, a couple times. I remember the
don't think I
space
even
one.
watched that.
Oh, you're right. Okay, Wes.
2011,
Yeah, 2011. Yep, I'm seeing it here. Oh, see, I don't even remember. It's like a more of a. Yeah, it's a more modern day. Well, not modern, I'd say. It has more of that anime look to it. Yeah, I guess it wasn't very good. I don't even remember it.
No, I mean that could be something interesting if they ever did a live action. Well, did a live action, did it right, I guess I should say.
Yeah, live action would be cool if they did it right, or that CGI version would be very cool. They've got the He-Man reboot, Masters of the Universe reboot working with Kevin Smith wrote the script to it. It's gonna be Netflix. I'm worried about it though.
Yeah, with the whole Tila centric that
Yeah,
they seem to be pushing for.
So this is the 2011 intro.
He would be born of fire, a king to lead his people to victory against ancient spirits of evil. Thunder! Thundercat!
Doesn't sound like Lion-O.
Whoa.
Well, the roar sounded cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad intro. The song is very much the same.
Is that
A little heavy on the guitar though.
Solo, rocking it out. Okay, they've got some similar shots.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
He's Lionel's a lot younger. He looks more like a teenager there, late teens, early 20s. Well, he looks like late teens than in the original.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look terrible. The intro looks, they tried to keep it close to the original.
I should give it a watch to see what I think about it.
I've nothing but good things about the 2011 reboot. Oh, McKinney liked it. It covered a backstory very well. RR liked it. Okay, so it seems like it was all right then. It wasn't that bad. Now, what did you guys think? To the chat, what did you guys think of the Voltron Netflix reboot?
Now
Did you think
was that the one where where the Alliance there's a peace treaty with Zarkon and Prince
Yeah.
Lotor. Oh, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you weren't asking me. You were asking the chat.
No, but
Yeah,
you can
they-
answer it too.
They
You can answer.
turned Pidge into a girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they turned her. Yeah.
I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of dumb.
I didn't. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Or
Really?
didn't like it.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't see them. I didn't see the Alliance falling for Zarkon and Lotor and having them be.
No, he said it was
that part of it.
terrible. Yeah, I mean, Lotor, yeah, he becomes kind of like a good guy. He's kind of in on it with them, which I wasn't crazy about that part. But yeah, I bought it. Like I went along with it because it still kept like, it still kept the whole thing with Keith, the whole storyline with Keith trying to his background and him trying to, win over the red line from God, what's his name?
The Black Lion.
Yeah, the Black Lion. Yeah.
Well, see, that's a weird thing too that I didn't like. At some point, they destroy all the lions. I guess as part of their peace initiative. I forget. I'm a little foggy on it. Or somehow the lions.
They decommissioned them. I don't think they destroyed them. I think they were like decommissioned.
I thought they did what we did to like all the bombers after the Cold War, and they put them in giant guillotines. They did something like that and destroyed them.
At the beginning of the show, they all go and they're given like the keys to them, and they've been like slumbering for so long, but they're not destroyed.
Like one's in the desert. One's
Yeah,
in the jungle.
they like decommissioned them and left them, but they're not. They weren't destroyed though, because they get them back and they're all in one piece. It's not like they have to build them again.
Yeah, I think I got part way into the second season when I lost interest. I mean, the first season was just and the second season I was like, nah, I gave up.
Yeah, maybe I should give it another shot. But I don't know. I just love the original so much. I even like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing ever touches the originals and any of these, reboots. You can only be as good as when you're watching it. You're reminiscing of the original. If you can watch it and enjoy it, and you get those tingles from your childhood, then they've done it right. But it's never going to be as good as what we had as kids. I mean, maybe some of that's just because our memories as kids, everything's heightened in retrospect, but I think the quality the storytelling was just better then too.
Yeah, it was of its time, I guess. It kind of went with the times. I don't know. I liked Beast, Transformers Beast Wars in the 90s. I thought that was I thought that was well written. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Castlevania, I haven't watched that yet.
I've never watched that one. I've seen it pop up, but see, I never really knew the game very much, so it didn't interest me for that reason because I wasn't into the game.
I like those games. Good.
Yeah, the games were good. I loved their take on Megatron. Very different, but just as good. He was a more cunning Megatron. He was not so much a warrior as he was kind of a weasel. It was very well done, and the guy that did the voice, David Kay, I think was his name, did a great. It's a very different voice, as where the G1 Megatron was kind of raspy. Beast Wars Megatron, and I love the look they gave him too. Beast Wars Megatron, very smooth and suave kind of voice,
Yeah, well, he was a completely different character anyway, so.
Yeah, it was. They made that clear. Both him and Optimus Primal were totally different robots. They were not the same.
They actually explain that fairly well in the IDW comics by saying it's a completely different world because apparently there was like 13 colonies that leave Cybertron at one point, and one of them it's part of the Titans, like Metroplex. So there was all these Titans that left with Cybertronians on board, and they went out and they created areas to repopulate that world with Cybertronians that were empty. And they went off in these different directions to create different worlds. And apparently what would become the Beast Wars was actually spawned from a Titan that went to this world. So it was an interesting way to kind of tie it all into the original stories of the Transformers. So I thought IDW did very well with that to explain it, how they could exist.
Yeah. Machini, I actually liked Beast Machines. I like the writing of Beast Machines. I didn't necessarily like the aesthetics, I think, as much as I did with Beast Wars. But I thought it was an interesting and compelling story. I actually did enjoy Beast Machines, and it's a polarizing Transformers. A lot of people don't like Beast Machines, but I actually did enjoy it.
Hey, did you guys hear that Altered Carbon got canceled?
I did,
No,
yes.
really.
And that's a serious bummer because they had a real good story going on.
I like
Um,
season 1 a lot. Season 2 I haven't watched because I heard it just wasn't that good. I'll probably watch it eventually, but I really liked season 1.
It's
Where they were headed
it
with it, with the idea
it
behind
it
it.
kind of pales in comparison, to
Yeah.
season 1. But season 2 is good. There's things about it I like, and the guy they brought in, I don't think personality wise, I don't think he was really right for the role personality. Just because in season 1, you had what's his name, the guy with the Irish looking guy, Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah.
He plays some really dramatic roles, and he's really expressive, and he really expresses his disdain in his characters, and it's gritty, and it's kind of one of the things that I kind of liked about his character because it's the kind of characters that he plays, and I really like the actor. And when they switched it up, I like this actor too, but I think he's good in other things. I don't think he was a real good fit for it.
That's the guy that played Falcon, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. It's the guy who played Falcon, and once you get used to him, Kovac looking like him and his character, you get used to it. But you got to remember, then they change bodies like skins, like clothing, in this show, and sleeves they call them, and it's okay, it's good, but it's not as good as the first season. And I don't think they should have canceled it. I think they just should have just gone with another actor for the third season, or bring the original actor back because people really like that guy.
First season was a masterpiece. I loved the first season. I mean, it's almost like it could take place in like the Blade Runner world or something. It was
maybe just a little. It wasn't overt. It wasn't that bad, but it was a little bit. You were saying
I heard it was slightly. I heard it was kind of bland compared to the first season.
Yeah, but there's it's there a little bit, but there's really good stories in it. So if the story is halfway decent, and then I can deal with a little bit of the crud they throw in there. It's ignorable, but the storyline and all that, and the plot, and I like it. I really do. I didn't think it deserved to be canceled.
Yeah, if they could have continued what they're doing from season 1 and made it more like that, absolutely. Altered Carbon, I think, was the first.
I really like that guy. Sorry, Wes.
I think Altered Carbon was probably the first show that I saw on my brand new 4K TV in HDR, and I was blown away. Well, it was really dark. HDR is dark, which I don't like. But as far as
like that either.
As far as the colors are concerned, I was like, wow. But yeah, HDR seems to be really dark for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, for some reason, I always feel like I have to jack up the brightness and everything else in order to see HDR.
Yeah, I had it maxed, and I couldn't see it.
Have you ever, hey Wes, and Final and Tommy, have you guys ever watched the show The Killing? It's a police show based out of Seattle, and it starred Joel Kinnaman. And believe it or not, then they're both gingers, and they're both like in your face, gonna tell you how it is, and it's such a clash of characters. You should check that show out. It's interesting. That's where I first saw Joe Kinnaman, and I like him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad it's not
which
out of the season.
Oh, Witchfinder
Sad.
General. Yeah, some of the early Marvel Transformers comics originally, though, there was a lot of destruction, but there wasn't much death originally because in the first, I want to say up to the first 6 or 7, maybe even 10 issues of Marvel Comics, they didn't really die, really. Like they had one in particular where they actually had the Amazing Spider-Man in his black cosmic suit, and Gears got completely destroyed. Like he was in bits and pieces, and they put him back together. And Optimus Prime is explaining to the one human there that he was actually explaining to Spider-Man that they don't have death the same way that humans do. So that wasn't until later on that they actually started having death, like permanent death in the Marvel comics. And I think that was right around the time that they might have introduced the Spark, which is supposed to be a Cybertronian soul. So,
Wow. Hail, Philip Gaming. How you doing?
Hail, Phil.
Yeah, I've got a HD 4K Blu-ray player, and I always feel like the HDR, especially streamed HDR, is really the worst, darkness-wise. And so basically, when I watch the HDR Blu-rays, 4K Blu-rays, it's not quite as bad, but I always feel like I need to increase the brightness so I can see what's going on. Yeah. I don't know if you guys experience that or not, but I think they really need to make HDR just a little bit brighter.
Yeah, they need to definitely figure out a way to do that. I don't know. I see. I was kind of where Witchfinder was at, and I was thinking at first that it was my TV, and then different shows had it, and then I've heard the same thing from other people. And what's interesting is that when you have a dark scene in HDR, you can see the dark scene better. But when you have a light scene, it's still dark. Like everything outside looks like daybreak, even if it's in the middle of noon, whenever the scene takes place.
Right.
it's like all those TVs when you go to like Best Buy or anywhere else and you see them actually on display and you're seeing the picture quality from them. You can never seem to match that same picture quality when you get that damn TV home.
Yep.
No, because
Yeah, I know. It
they're
always looks
playing
better
specially
on
designed
display.
video. They're playing that specially designed video that makes those TVs pop.
Yeah, everything, all the colors are like so much more bright on the whatever they're playing DVD.
And
Blu-ray.
believe it or not, when the first 4K TV that I got, it was a LG 43-inch 4K TV. And I did have cable at the time. And it really does make a difference whether you have HD cable or not. It makes a huge difference. So if you got a HD cable box coming in, I have one of those. Oh man, it looks so crisp and so surreal. It doesn't look. It looks plasticky almost. It looks so real in the picture. That's that good. Blows me away. When I first got it, it took me a little while to get used to it, and then I just got rid of the cable box and all that. And I got a bunch of different apps that I watch. Amazon Prime, Netflix, Voodoo, stuff like that.
Yep, same here. Interesting that we're talking about 4K. A lot of movies, when they do like aerial shots and things like that, it almost looks like miniatures a lot of times in 4K. Like for example, the Amazing Spider-Man. They did a lot of scenes of New York. And those scenes in the Amazing Spider-Man where they're doing the cityscapes and showing the cars and the buildings and all that stuff,
Yeah.
it almost looks so good. Well, it looks really good, but also the way they're so zoomed out, it almost looks like toy cars driving. It's really weird. I don't know if the rest of you feel that way when you've watched it or not.
I'd have to watch again. You need the scene where he's swinging through downtown, or not? I guess it's more
No,
midtown.
Not the swinging parts. When they're just doing, they'll do like these cityscapes where they just show the city.
Oh,
in
okay.
between scene transitions. Yeah.
So
feel
you're
like your
thinking it might be
character and
CG?
No, I'm not. Not CG. I'm just saying that
He's saying
the
it looks
quality.
surreal.
Yeah, it looks surreal because of the high fidelity. I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You're seeing it much more crisply than you would in real life. I guess
Right.
is what I'm-
I mean, I feel that way sometimes when you're watching like a movie in HD or 4K, where I think it depends on your settings too on your TV, like the display settings. But sometimes it almost looks like you're watching all of a sudden the movie that you've watched for 20 years, that has that movie feel, looks like you're watching a reality show. And I think it's at like live motion or something. There's an option on a lot of the TVs that have, I think it's called live motion. And it changes the way that, I guess, when they're filming it, it changes how the camera sort of moves. But it's digital, and it makes it look like it's a reality TV show, like you're watching something that was filmed on, like a home movie camera instead of a movie.
Yeah, I've noticed that about
I think it's live
really good
motion.
pictures. Yeah, Hulu provided a really crisp picture on some of their HD content and stuff like that and they even had some 4K content, and the picture was just like you said, just like it looked so real. It was surreal.
Yeah.
Crisp. Because when you go to a higher quality and you ain't seen good quality like that in a while, it's like, wow, mind blowing.
That's one of the things I like about Amazon Prime is that you get 4K and HDR. You don't have to pay extra for it. But Netflix, they want an arm and a leg for HD. Well, I mean, they want a lot. It's more. It's a significant price increase to go 4K.
What's the 4K one going for these days? What, 14?
That was like $15 a month.
Yeah, I think it's 15.
Because I have the 4K. It's like $14, $15, something like that.
I had it, but once I got done with Altered Carbon, I kind of, I don't know, I didn't care anymore. Because the first season looked so good and nothing else was really in it.
They kind of. That's the one thing that I hate about when they cancel shows. It's like the story's not done, you canceled it. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks.
The story of things left undone.
Maybe Jeff Bezos will buy it. Maybe he did pick up The Expanse.
Oh yeah.
It was a Netflix series. Yeah. Hopefully Hulu buys it.
I'm kind of curious to see what Netflix may or may not do with the Nickelodeon properties that they are going to be able to have soon. Because they did strike that deal with Nickelodeon a while back.
Interesting.
Netflix and Nickelodeon?
Yeah, I remember hearing about that a while back, that they had struck a deal.
Oh, wow.
Let's see.
I know about
Netflix
that.
and Nickelodeon
Is
deal.
that why Avatar was on? Avatar.
Okay, the deal was announced on November 13th of 2019. Netflix and Nickelodeon today announced that they have formed a new multi-year output deal to produce original animated feature films. Shit, lost my spot. Animated films and television series based both on the Nickelodeon library of characters as well as all new IP for kids and families around the world. This marks an expansion of the existing relationship between the companies, which has already brought several popular titles to Netflix, including animated specials Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling, and Invader Zim. Enter the Floppus? I don't know that one. Also forthcoming are specials based on The Loud House and The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I thought Avatar was a property of theirs, and Avatar was on. That's a great cartoon. That's a great show. Watched that with my nephew. Kind of a weighty story, being the last of his kind. The last of the airbenders.
Yeah.
Really
Hey,
kind of dark.
I have noticed that on 4K TVs that some of the older movies do look pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is. I got a couple of those old classics.
Oh God, does anybody remember? Was Ed, Ed and Eddie Nickelodeon? I think it was, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can't
That'd be
remember if
sweet.
that was Cartoon Network or Boomerang.
The missus
was-
just said it was Nickelodeon. So
Yeah. Witchfinder. As far as older movies, I don't think they figured the makeup out the way they do today, because when HD first got introduced, it was the funniest thing. You'd turn on the news and you'd see like plastic surgery scars and pores and like stray hairs shooting out of somebody's nose or whatever.
oh no,
And-
no, it wasn't. It was Cartoon Network. Oh,
And-
bummer.
Eventually they figured the makeup out, and plus you could see the makeup on top of the skin, which was really weird. And they figured the makeup out, and then also I guess a lot of these stars and also TV personalities, they negotiated in their contracts for them to have it slightly soft focused so it wasn't as sharp.
So one of the classics that I have is It's a Wonderful Life. And I have both
Favorite movie.
the black and
My
white
top 10.
and the colorized version. And it was a bundle, so a really good White Christmas came with it. I believe that's with Bing
Oh,
Crosby.
nice. White Christmas was Bing Crosby, yeah, and Danny Kaye,
Yeah,
Rosemary Clooney.
yeah. So that's a great movie, and there's a lot of those old black and white movies. They look good on 4K TVs.
Yeah.
That is
Oh
no
yeah.
doubt. No doubt. There's original Batman series that was in black and white. Wasn't it like from the late 40s or something like that?
Original Batman series,
Yeah.
live
that was in
action. I
black and
thought
white.
Adam West was the first one. live
Uh,
action.
It was either a movie or it was it was actually there was like the late 40s or something like that. Yeah. It looks really cheesy, but it's the 40s or the 50s or something like that when they made it.
I mean, there was Superman back then, and it was George Reeves
Yeah.
era.
That was my favorite Superman when I was a kid. Because that
George
was when
Reeves?
I was when I was a kid before the motion picture, that was the only Superman.
Yeah,
Special
right, yeah,
was,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. Great, great, great movie.
Movie's got a lot of heart. It's very smart too. Capra.
Mhm.
I want to see Mr. Smith Goes to Washington now.
Oh, that's great too.
Yeah, I've heard
I
that
mean,
one.
oh man, yeah, that scene. He's Jimmy Smith. I think he literally had to have lost his voice. He gives the very epic monologue where it's a filibuster, so he's just been standing and talking for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and he has such a hoarse voice, and there's no way, like, Jimmy Stewart had to have really lost his voice in that scene because it just sounds, it's natural. There's no faking that. You can't act like you're hoarse like he does. I mean, oh my gosh,
Right.
great movie.
I love his movies.
Yeah, he's one of my all-time favorite actors.
Isn't there some John Wayne in movies where Jimmy
Yeah.
Stewart and John Wayne are in the same movie?
Yeah, they did Valance, something. God, what's it called? Bell
Something
Valance.
Valance.
Yeah, something Valance. God, some murder of something Valance. Oh man, I have to look it up now. Yeah, it's good. That's the only one I can think of they did together, but they might have done, because Jimmy Stewart kind of went through a Western phase there, so
Yeah, he
they
did.
might have done a couple. But the Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Yep. Yeah, really good movie. But yeah, I believe they did do some others together.
Yeah, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yeah, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. That's a good movie.
That is.
They kind of team up in that together.
Because normally, IMDb will show you where you can watch it at. Sometimes.
Yeah, they do sometimes show you that.
See. Unfortunately, it's not free on Prime right now. Every now and then it pops up free as one of the Prime options if you have Prime. But yeah, man.
Oh, they did a couple. Yeah, the Shootist. They did the Shootist together in 1976. John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart.
John Ford was the director of this one. Wow. Because I know there's a bunch of westerns on Prime right now that's available.
I love Western movies.
Let's see. Let's see here.
Rio Bravo. That's my favorite John Wayne.
True Grit, 69. That's
Wait, Jimmy Stewart? He wasn't in that though.
Yeah,
that was John Wayne.
I just happened
okay.
to see it. Yeah, John Wayne.
Yeah.
True Grit. I really like that movie. Let's see who else in that. Glenn Campbell, Kim Darby, Jeremy Slate, Robert Duvall, Dennis Hopper, Alfred Reiter, Strother Martin. He's normally the wily old coot. I think that's who that guy plays. In every Western I've ever seen him, he was he was the wily old coot, angry, and everyone laughed at him because he was funny.
Yeah. God, How the West Was Won, man. That's Jimmy Stewart. There's Gregory Peck, Debbie Reynolds.
All right, let me see here. Click Jimmy Stewart. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
there's. All right. There's. In the early '60s, he did some really good westerns. Let's see. Here's an obscure one. 61, Two Rode Together. That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, RR says, 40s Batman serials.
Yeah.
He has them on VHS. The Shootist was Wayne's last film. Wow. Yeah, 1976, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And Jimmy Stewart was in that with him.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Two Rode Together, that's a good Western to check out. Because that's got Jimmy Stewart, it's got Richard Widmark, it's got Shirley Jones.
Oh.
She's a young
The Two
Shirley
Rode
Jones.
Together?
Yeah. Shirley Jones, Linda Crystal, Andy Devine, John McGuire. Oh, these are old school guys in westerns. Paul Birch, John McIntyre, Willis Boucher, Henry Brandon. All these old timers, man. It's a good western. If you're hardcore with your westerns, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Robert Duvall westerns.
There's the IMDb link. And all right. We will throw a little cheered up Makini yesterday. He was feeling kind of down. So yeah, with that note, let's throw some music out there a little bit. Let's see, where are you? Yeah, you're it. Oh, damn it. Whoops. I seen the little square box. I did not click it. Share audio.
That's what she said.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh, what's
All
about
right,
that?
let's see here. Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
All right. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, southwest bound. Time stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gonna walk the line, sing a song of long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Where we're gonna start on Ghost Bear time. No, I'm not man in the moon. That has the sound so profound. Man with the sound so profound to be found. A little bit never hurt no one. A little bit never hurt no one. Go for the show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Just need a scarecrow to scare the children. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, south windbound. Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gonna walk the line, sing a song long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Well, where we start our Ghost Bear time. No, I'm not the man in the moon that has the sound. Sound so profound, man with a sound. So profound to be found. A little bit never hurt no one. Go for the show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Just need a scarecrow to scare the children. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, southwest bound. Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gotta walk the line, sing a song long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's your placard.
Nice.
Neat layering effects, eh? Old oak tree. And yes, what a grand time we can have, walking backwards in a backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copied me. Need to find a key to find the way out. Western key unlocks the door. Grows on by the old tree. Light makes my green light won't go. Green light won't go. Bus won't move. Gotta catch a groove. Gotta move it on down in this said tree. Time thermometer moving backwards in a backwards world. Go for a drive in the countryside. Miles and miles down the road. In the spirit, it grows spoke to me. Be your own captain, last community in the community. What a grand time we can have, walking backwards in the backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Need to find a key to find the way out. The western key unlocks the door. Crows sung tuned by the old oak tree. Light makes might, the green light won't go. The bus won't move, gotta catch a cruise. Gotta move it on down in this clown world. 1, 2, 3, he said tree. Time thermometer moving backwards in the backwards world. Time thermometer moving backwards in the backwards world. Go for a drive in the countryside. I can identify with the song that goes. Miles and miles down the road. Kindred spirit, the crow spoke to me. Be your own captain, lasting unity in the community. What a grand time we can have, walking backwards in a backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Gotta move it on down in this clown world. 1, 2, 3, he said 3. All right. Well, go around the horn real quick. Tell them where you can be found, and we'll rock it out with a 1.5-minute song, the San Fran Unicorn. That's a good one to end it with. From the top down, start with you, Wes.
Hey, everybody. You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, a vlog about whatever the heck I want to, because it is my webcast. Hope to see you there. Thank you, my friends.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. You could find me on Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, nibbling toes, because that's what we are, toe nibbler extraordinaires. We do lightsaber theory, we do old movies, and we do toy talks, and every Monday we do retro discussions going old school at 9 p.m. Eastern, where you never know who's going to show up and talk about those old things that we truly love.
Very nice, Tommy.
Indeed.
I am FinalDeathStar, bringing you the planet-destroying news, which I think, Tommy, you came up with that one.
Yeah, I put that in your original
yeah,
link.
The links. Yeah, it's great. I love it. So you can find me at FinalDeathStar on YouTube, FinalDeathStar1 on Twitter, FinalDeathStar on Instagram, and I will have my Enter the Nether show tomorrow night at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. We're going to continue our talk about the megalithic structures of the past. So we'll be continuing with Egypt tomorrow, part 2. And also Tuesdays and Saturdays on the Rogue 4, or what was it? Rogue Entertainment. Rogue 4 on Tuesday, Rogue Entertainment on Saturday on author Stephen Walton's channel. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, and you won't be having the glitches that give you the itches, right?
I hope not. I hope not.
Knock on wood. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, you know where you can find me, and you can find me at Bear Bear Nerd Fun, and as Tyler Mongo nicknamed me, I am the Ghost Bear. Hey, and so we will play this here Unicorn San Fran, and we will say goodnight. And you are the best chat in the community, and without you, it wouldn't be a thing, wouldn't be no fun. And so with this, we'll sing this out, and we'll say goodnight. Movie and a unicorn and popcorn. I saw unicorns and friend. All I had was a grand. Making an Exodus movie show was getting good. I got my popcorn. Hot summer, catch a beat, got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your playlist. Do you understand the music show? Apocalyptic movie show. I got my popcorn 2 degrees. Nothing like watching this movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn too. Living in a apocalyptic movie show. The movie and a unicorn. Movie and a popcorn. Movie and a popcorn. I saw a unicorn in San Fran. All I had was a grand. Making a Exodus movie show is getting good. Got my popcorn getting really deep. It got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your list. Do you understand the music from the apocalyptic movie show? I got my popcorn too. 100 degrees, nothing like watching a movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn, yeah. Living in a popcorn movie show. Movie and a unicorn show. Good night. Thanks for
Awesome.
Thanks for hanging
Good night,
out.
guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.